One of the parts of a drawing is symmetry. Sometimes you have to try to match what's on one side with what is on the other, and it is the same, but like a mirror image. This can be a little bit difficult to draw, and what we have here is something that would be a practice worksheet. And you can make up your own worksheets by simply making rectangles, dividing them in two, and then drawing on one side. For your practice, you come in and you draw the same thing on the other side. It takes a bit of concentration to do that. Now in this example, I had already drawn through there, but you can see that you're trying to match one side to the other. On this one, I have done a dotted line, so you can see this was the original. So we have a practice from the right hand and left hand. And you can kind of eyeball things to see where they would come in. So you could like make a dot and say, okay, this one should go this far out and come in there. And this is round, so it should be connected like that. And then you see that there's a straight line here, so you go a straight line there, and then curve from that point back to where they meet. Now these are some more that you can do. You can practice with them. You don't have to worry about getting it exactly right because it is just a practice sheet. Some things you can do that will look like something, like this is going to resemble a Christmas tree. This is not going to resemble anything really, but it still gives you good practice. This one will give you a face, and another thing that you can do to practice faces like this is to take a magazine picture and fold it in half and put it on your paper so that you can draw the other half. It's good practice. Here is a butterfly shape, and that is what we are going to be working with today. This is the drawing that we will be working on, and you can see this butterfly is symmetrical. You're drawing the same thing on one side as the other. This butterfly is not symmetrical because the view is from the side. Another thing that you look at to find symmetry, this flower, a daisy-like flower, has got petals that are all basically of the same length. But when you look at it from an angle, these are going to look shorter than the ones to the side just because of the angle that you're looking at them. The leaf also shows symmetry. It can be tipped a little bit so that this leaf goes out further toward the back, and this one comes in. So it's not exactly like a heart shape, but it's similar. You're using the same type of line. You want to watch to do the second one in a similar manner as the first one, so that it's almost like a mirror image. Another thing to look at when you're drawing is to make sure that you place things that are closer to you in front of other parts of your drawing. And it will make the flower look like it is back further by having the wings of the butterfly in front here, covering up a little bit of the flower. Okay, then we need to get started. We will start with the asymmetrical butterfly, the one that we're drawing from the side. Nearly everything in this drawing is going to be a collection of curved lines. Now, we'll take the first part of the wing and curve it up as big as you want the butterfly to be, and then round it down. It's kind of like a very round triangle. So you want to come to meet that, and the other wing is behind it. So you're going to be mimicking the same shape, but it's behind this wing. Now, the wing of a butterfly is in two pieces. So this is the bottom part of the wing. And you can decorate these any way you wish. I am putting a bar across that part of the wing, and I'm putting in some spots. So you make little dots. Now the butterfly's body is just going to be coming around underneath the wing and over, and a round dot for the head, and you can give him some antenna. Now he's also got legs, so he's got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if we don't want them to show up too much, we can ignore the other 2 on the other side of his body. We have the center part of the daisy. So what you're drawing is an oval. And if you were to look directly at the flower from up above it, it would be a circle. But because it is tilted, then you're going to have more of an oval shape. Now all the petals are actually making the same type of shape, sort of an oval shape if you were to look at them as a collection rather than an individual petal. When we draw the petals, we are going to be making kind of like a J or a fishhook type shape. You want it a little wider at the end and smaller where it connects in. And you just connect it back to the one that you drew in front. And the one that's out on the edge that looks the longest also has some coming in behind it, but they don't necessarily show up very much. Okay, so now we need to do the other ones with more curved lines. It's basically the same type of curved line. And they aren't going to necessarily be perfect looking. Maybe it's been windy there today. Flowers don't always look perfect. Okay, those are the petals. Now, we are going to draw the butterfly here in a symmetrical fashion because we are looking at his back. So this one is going to start out with the wing, coming around and back in and up. And then the same on the other side. So curved, kind of like a triangle shape, coming in there like that. And the bottom one is 2 curved lines, meaning you can make it really rounded off or more sharp. Really depends on how you want your butterfly to look. Because if you look at a book, the butterflies vary a great deal in the shape of their wings and in the colors. This part down on the bottom part of the lower wing can get really ornate. There are swallowtail butterflies that are much more elaborate looking, but we aren't going to be too concerned about that right now. We're just going to be putting in the decorations, if you want to call them that. So this one has 2 coming in this way, so you put 2 coming in this way. So you just sort of match things from one side to the other. And we'll put in the body, and the head, and the antenna. And there we have two butterflies. This is a bigger one than this one, but they're of the same variety because I made them look like they have the same patterns on them. Now we want to finish our daisy, so we're going to put in his stem and sort of a heart-shaped curved lines to make the leaf. This part is the center of the leaf, and the stem would be attaching into that. And if this leaf is curved a little bit, you don't necessarily see where the stem attaches, but you can imagine it would be right behind this part of the leaf, and so then it would come down here and attach to the stem like that. I have this one coming around. I'm following through with the two sides of the leaf being almost symmetrical. At least they're following the same basic shape for each side. Not all leaves are like that. Not all petals are like that. You really do have to look at what you're drawing. If you're going by a photo or a real thing, take a good look to see if it's symmetrical, which means exactly the same on both sides, or whether it's asymmetrical, where one side is different from the other. And these are just things that you keep track of as you're drawing. And I have a colored version that I did. This is ink with colored pencils, and you can choose whatever colors that you would like. I hope you had fun drawing butterflies and flowers today.